There's a certain kind of silence that doesn't just sit still. It feels as if it's breathing, watching, listening. It drifts into every corner of the house, curling around chairs, settling into the seams of the walls. You don't notice it at first. Not until the sunlight catches it just right, the way it does with dust floating in the air. Our home once pulsed with warmth, laughter spilling from the kitchen, music humming softly in the background, the familiar rhythm of my mother's footsteps moving from one room to another. Now, it's only me and David, with walls that seem to remember her more vividly than either of us dares to speak aloud. Before I tell you how it all shifted between us, before I unfold the truth of what happened, I want to ask, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It helps these stories reach the hearts that need to hear them. David, my father, was never one to give voice to grief. He carried it the way some people live with an old injury. Quietly, constantly, always there. I saw it in how his gaze would linger a moment too long, in the delay before a smile formed, in the pauses that seemed to swallow his words. It was like a low, steady vibration neither of us dared to name. It had been a year since we lost her. Rachel, the woman whose presence stitched our lives together with kindness and quiet strength. Without her, the air felt colder, even when sunlight spilled across the floors. One rain-soaked night, sleep wouldn't come. The soft patter of droplets against the window was almost a lullaby, but not enough to still my restless mind. I went downstairs for tea, expecting darkness, but the kitchen light was on. David stood with his back to me, palms pressed to the counter, staring at nothing in particular. He turned at the sound of my steps, eyes warm but heavy. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked. I shook my head. "You?" His breath left him slowly, like the act itself hurt. I miss her voice the most at night. Something in my chest tightened. I poured 2 cups of tea, and when I passed him his, our fingers brushed for barely a heartbeat. But the spark of warmth it sent through me lingered far longer. "You've grown strong," he murmured. "She'd be proud." "So would you," I replied. His smile was faint, but it stayed, as if he was searching my face for something even he couldn't define. Spring arrived reluctantly, as though the world itself was careful not to hurry us. I began doing more around the house. Cooking, shopping, keeping him company in the evenings. He lingered more too. He'd sit beside me on the porch, asking about my dreams and plans. Not like a father checking in, but like a man wanting to see me, really see me. One evening, I found him outside in the golden light of sunset, hands clasped together as if holding something delicate. "Mind if I join you?" he asked. His smile was small, and something in me softened. I sat closer than usual. "You remind me of her," he said quietly. "But you're not her. You're something else, stronger, more alive." My breath caught, but I didn't look away. Regret flickered in his eyes, as if he wasn't sure he should have said it. I placed my hand gently over his. "You don't have to apologize," I whispered. He didn't pull back. His fingers curled lightly around mine. "It's not wrong," I said softly. "Just complicated." His gaze deepened, and in it I saw everything. Grief, affection, and something fragile yet new pushing through the cracks. "I don't know when it happened," he murmured. "Only that when you're near, the weight feels lighter." "I feel the same," I admitted. That night, I stood outside his bedroom door for what felt like forever. I didn't knock. I just stood there, heart pounding, unsure of what I was waiting for, before retreating to my own room. The silence followed me, not empty this time but full. Over the weeks, his touches became more frequent. Small, deliberate gestures. A hand grazing my back as I passed him in the kitchen, fingers brushing mine when he handed me a plate. His shoulder leaning into mine when we sat together. Nothing overt, but every touch carried meaning. One evening, while I was cooking, he came to stand close enough that I could feel his warmth. "You've become the heartbeat of this house," he said. "You talk like a poet," I teased. He smiled. "You inspire the words." That night we ate dinner by candlelight. It wasn't meant to be romantic, but it felt that way. Afterward, when I reached for the dishes, he stopped me with a gentle touch. Thank you, he whispered, for staying, for letting me feel again. Our hands parted slowly, as though passing something sacred between them. Later I found him asleep on the couch. I placed a blanket over him, but his eyes opened. I didn't mean to wake you, I said softly. Maybe I was waiting for you, he replied. I sat down beside him. His eyes held something unspoken, fragile, dangerous. Do you ever wonder, he asked, what it would be like to stop pretending? I didn't answer right away. He reached for my hand, and this time I didn't let go. I've followed the rules my whole life, he said quietly. But nothing could have prepared me for how I feel about you. I squeezed his hand. No declarations. No promises. Just truth. The world would never understand, but maybe it didn't have to. This wasn't about replacing her. It was about finding warmth again, about two people learning how to live after loss. And love doesn't always arrive with noise and fanfare. Sometimes it slips in quietly, like sunlight through a curtain, like the breath between words, like the way he smiled when he whispered, "You mean everything." And I believed him.